Loading wheat. Good morning. Welcome back. It froze last night, so now everything's not so sloppy, but I'm sure it's going to warm up and melt, and it was supposed to even rain today, so we'll see. But yeah, Phil's hauling wheat out, loading out of those bins in the back there with our belt conveyor. Again, you guys don't see grain hauling on this channel because I don't do it. Phil does 95% of it. He does all of it outside of harvest season, so we let him take care of it. Well, this morning's computer work consisted of getting some seed stuff loose ends tied up. We've got a few guys that got to get stuff paid for or financed yet before I can deliver seed, so talking to them and just trying to get things moving because it's getting close to being time to go with that. So we're going to work on this planter today. First thing I'm going to go through and do is kill myself by stepping on that stool. We're going to go through and adjust our gauge wheels and get them all set where they're supposed to be. Brock texted me last night. He was supposed to be here today, but he said he was sick all day yesterday, so it doesn't look like he's going to come. That's fine. Feel better. But, yeah, we're going to work on this planter. Okay, so let me show you. Is there a way I can show you? Will you stick there? Yes, but you can't see me from there. All right, we're going to find a spot to mount this camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, we're not going to find a spot to mount it here. We might on another one, but, oh, we need our socket. Right there it is. Come on. Come on. Okay. Just put it on here. It'll be easier. So we're going to just snug that up so that it's not loose. And then we're going to check. What we want is for this gap to be tight, but not so tight that that doesn't spin. We want this to be able to lift up, but fall back down freely. And spin, like it spins the openers a little bit, like that's pretty good. If it was out of adjustment, we can spin this inside bushing here. Where's my adjustable? Somewhere I have adjustable. But you basically hold this bolt, and then you spin that, and then once we're done, we tighten it down. I like that one. It could be just a touch snugger, but that's pretty good. So this is the original John Deere gauge wheel system. There are several different aftermarket ones that are better, but again, goes back to that. I'm going to wear out the parts that I have before I take them off and put different ones on, just to put different ones on. So we're going to go through and do this whole wing of the planter here, get them adjusted where we want. Okay, so this one I snugged up that bolt and we're way too loose. There's a gap in there. Yeah, there you can see it. That's no good. So now I gotta go find my wrench so we can adjust that. Ah, look, you guys can see from there. So, there is some flat spots on the outside of this bushing. I might have it too tight. We might have to loosen. There we go. Yeah. Probably should have a ratchet instead of an impact. Oh, wrong way. So when I turn that, it moves this in. It's like a threaded bushing here. Close. I'll go just a little more. That feels good. We're gonna go with that. So this one's a little tighter than that first one I showed you, but you can see our gap here is totally gone. When I turn that, it turns the opener. But when I lift it up, it still falls. That's what we want. And now we have one that has the opposite problem. It's too tight. So when I lift this up, it falls a little bit, but not all the way. That's too tight. So we're going to loosen that one up a little bit. So while I am doing this, I'm also checking out our gauge wheels, which we have these kind of unique ones with the 360, or not 360, precision conceal. So they got this split in them here. But we're watching the rubber. This one, I happen to notice there's a big chunk here. I don't really think that's hurting our performance at all. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more concerned about this edge being clean, and it's mostly, it's starting to fray or chip out a little bit. I'm not going to replace that this year. There's probably none of them. I mean, we're watching, but so far they're all good. I'm not real sure how these work as far as putting new rubber on, or if you got to buy the whole wheel, or I don't know. Never had to change one before, so there'll be a learning curve on those, I'm sure. But yeah, we're almost done with these here, or this side of it. So our gauge wheels are good now. Like I said, we're still waiting on the new knives for these conceals, so we can't do anything with that. The row units that Brock got washed the other day can go back on, so we'll start with those. I am not going to tension the belts yet. So these brush belts here, there's a knob on the outside. You turn this and point the arrow down and it tensions it, but you're supposed to leave them untensioned in the off season when they're not being used. And since we are probably 2 months from really getting rolling with the planter, we're gonna leave them off for right now. There's a possibility that we plant some beans in March yet and get something done, but we're a long ways from that. It's very wet out right now, and it will take some warming up and some drying out, and it's gonna be a few weeks at a minimum. So, and it's still February, but yeah, we'll see. And I do intend to use the corn planter if we're going to plant some beans in March this year. That's why we got it in the shop first, because I want it to be ready to go. Kind of like that. Can I show you? Can I show you? Where can I put my phone? Maybe next to us? Let's try this. We'll try that. Okay, first up. Brush belt, and Brock doesn't even have this one put back together yet, so we'll snap this cover on. Okay, I'll pull the seed sensor out, stick that down in there, plug it in. That. And then this cover. Just like that. And then our meters. And then our hoses. Got these 6 row units put back together. I think we're going to wash the rest of these. There's 4 more there to finish this wing up. We'll get them washed so that they can dry out when we get that put back together this afternoon. Then, and we'll move on to these back 4. We have got a bucket of hot soapy water here, and another bucket of cold clean water and a hose. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with this brush belt. So the first thing we're going to do is open these tabs up and pop the cover off. So we've got that. Then we're going to take this bottom cover off. Just throw that one right in the bucket. We're going to pull the belt out. Okay. We've got a few corn kernels. Dump those out. We're going to pull the seed tube sensor. Do not throw that one in the bucket. There is little wear plate right here. We're going to inspect that, see if there's any grooving or anything that makes me think that needs to be changed. If there is not, it can go in the bucket. There are a couple other wear plates along here. I'm going to inspect them. I'm not going to pull those out. This top one I think comes out fairly easily. Yeah, okay. So that one we'll take out. We'll throw that in. This other one's a little harder to get off, I think. Either way, it doesn't need to come out. Okay, so that's it for the removable, easily removable pieces. Now we're going to get our nylon brush. Well, first thing I'm going to do, take the hose and spray it off. Now I'm going to take our nylon brush and we're going to clean up any dirt, grease, especially where that belt runs inside this meter. As worried about the outside, but we'll just clean it off here because we're doing it. Spray it off again. Okay, well, I've got this apart. Here's that knob I was showing you. You can see when I twist that, it pushes down on those springs, which push the pulley on the bottom down. That's how it tensions the belt. But we still got some springs in there for some, give. And then when I untension it, detension it, that pushes back up. So we can get our belt back on. But we're going to just set this off to the side for right now. Clean up the other side of the cover. Same thing here. This one's just quick. Nothing that's really affecting performance on this, but we don't want a bunch of dirt build up. Again, inspecting, looking for cracks, broken tabs, any of that stuff. Okay, here's our belt. Get that kernel out of there. We're looking for any spots where there would be bunches or chunks of bristles missing, excessive fraying where they're splayed out. You can see we've got a little memory to it. That's just from sitting in there loose. I'm not super concerned about that. If there was a big groove worn where the kernels go in the center of this, then we'd be worried about that. I don't see anything that causes me concern here. These are still in good shape. I'm going to dip it real quick. And then we're going to spray it off. Okay, shake most of the water out of it, and then I'm going to actually hang this up somewhere on this handle here until we're done with this meter. We'll let that drip. Our seed tube sensor, I don't want to dip this in there, but I do want to clean it off You can see the lens there and all that dirt and stuff around it. So we're just going to take our brush, nylon brush. Okay, set that over here to dry. Got these wear pieces. Pretty sure they're stainless steel, but they rust on the backside, so. Oh, got this other little cover. Rock does have a brass wire brush here. Can use that on these rusty stuff, clean them up a little better. It's the backside, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. Mostly worried about this front side where the seed wears. Okay, that's everything from the brush belt. Get the next piece. This is just a cover. Just gonna blow it off. Mostly just to clean it up, make it look good. And we're looking for cracks, stuff like that, but never found one broken. Okay, that piece was easy. I'll grab our meter. There's a lot on this. Lid. Door. Hub seal. Latch. Air diffuser elbow thing. There's some brushes that we could take out. There's a double eliminator that we could take out. I'm not going to. Look at this. Oh, man. You know what that is? That's a stick. How'd we get a stick on our meters? Anybody remember? Yeah. I know how I got there. Okay. had significant wear there. So I'm looking at this. There's a plastic piece right here that's got quite a dimple in it, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be there or not. So the seed gets picked up on the bottom here and it comes this way around past these little fingers that knock off any doubles, plus this one on the outside. And then it goes to here, and this is where the brush belt comes in and it hands it off and it goes down from there. So the seed never hits over here, but it's got a groove ore in it like the seed hits there. So I don't know if that's supposed to be there or if it's worn. Kind of looks like it's supposed to be there, but hard to tell. Anyway, I'm going to set it off the side. See if they're all the same or if there's differences between them. We'll decide from there. Alright, let's pull the lid here. The lid, I'm mostly concerned about the seal in here. So there's the seal for the vacuum on the back side of the plates. And we want to get all the dirt and build up, seed treatment build up off of that. Clean it up good so we get good seal. While we're looking at that seal, we're looking for cracks, we're looking for any reason that it won't do a good job, and we'll replace if necessary. Looks okay to me. These pieces here get super dirty because they're rubber and the treatment and talc all sticks to it. Clean them up every year and it lasts for about 3 seconds once you get to the field. So it's a total waste of time, but I do it anyway. Hub seal. This usually isn't too dirty. Again, looking for cracks. If it's stretched out really bad, sometimes you got to replace these. Is that it? Nope. Little latch handle. Okay, I think that's it. Now we let them dry off for a minute, and then we put it back together. So I got that all put back together and set that there to dry. Hopefully for your guys' sake, I edited that clip because it was 16 minutes long. So that row unit took me close to 20 minutes by the time you factor in putting it back together, taking it apart, washing it, all this stuff. Now I was filming it and it took me a little longer because of that. So either way, you're looking at 15 minutes per row just into washing meters up. That's why Brock doesn't like this job. It's slow, but I think it's worth it. It just gives us a really good opportunity to very closely inspect all of the components to make sure everything's in good, clean, working order and that we're set up for the best performance as possible. It might be 20 minutes in a row. I don't know. It took a while. We got these 4 done. That one I didn't put back together. We're just going to let it sit there and dry till I get back from lunch, and then we'll put those back on there. We'll start tearing these here apart this afternoon. It's like 11:30, so... yeah, washing rows is no fun, but it's needs to be done. I should put these filters away. We might work on that today, too. Got a call a few minutes ago from a truck driver. They're bringing me some beans today, so we're going to go down to the seed warehouse. 6 more boxes. Also ones that I need to put in the lean-to. We're going to have to get that trailer out here and move this stuff. It's not as nice out today as it was yesterday. It's snowing now, so... Anyway, I should come down here this afternoon and finish my lights up that I was working on yesterday. We might get to that, but I do like getting stuff done on that planter here today. So, we'll see. Anyway, it's lunchtime. I am back from lunch. We got these 4 rows all put back together. And we're about done with the swing. We just need our new conceal knives and then put those back up, and we are done over here. So, I think I have 2 of them. We could do 1 row just to have it done. Outside of that, I need to call that guy and find out when he's going to get the rest of them. So anyway, we're probably going to pull gauge wheels and start taking these back ones apart, take the units off, the meters off, and belts and stuff. But I'm tired of walking around these pallets of filters here. So let's label them and put them away. So I have shown this spreadsheet before, but this is my spreadsheet that tracks all of the filters and part numbers and how many there are for basically all of our equipment or anything that we use John Deere filters on. So we're going to match these up with the numbers on all of these. I started with the air filters here. For example, this one here ends in a 793, so let's go find that. So looking at our sheet, I'm pretty sure this is a primary air filter for one of like the 8R 8430 something. I've already crossed off primary air for the 8430, but if we look here, 8335R ends in a 793. Yep, those part numbers match. So we will cross that off. It is a primary air filter. So I'm going to spin this box so that when I lay it sideways, the numbers on top, we're going to write 8335R primary air. Thinking too much. All right. And then we set it on the steps because they go upstairs. So I just keep doing that with all of them. And on the bottom of this box, we have field cultivator sweeps, closing wheel bracket. Goes right there. And yeah, I've got another 2 more boxes to do. A couple of you guys asked me last week when I showed this spreadsheet if you could have a copy of it for your own use and stuff. If you asked me somewhere other than my email address, borderviewfarms@gmail.com, I forgot. But somebody did. I shared it with them. If you would like to use it, I have a blank copy. There's nothing proprietary or personal in there other than what machines that we have, and you guys already know all of that. So I kind of blanked it out, and you guys are welcome to have a copy of it. Double check all the formulas and everything to make sure it works for you. But send me an email, borderviewfarms@gmail.com, and I will send you a copy of that spreadsheet. Here we get to an interesting one. I have never seen this part number before. I've never even seen a John Deere part number that starts with a TA. But I know one from the shape of this box, and 2 because the parts people already told me. This is the cab air filter that goes on the newer tractors, the 8RX, the S780, the 8R. All use this same filter. So this is a substitute part number. What's different about the filter? Probably nothing. I have no idea. But it is going to be, if I look at this cab air, this number right here is the old number, that RE284091 substitutes with this TA number. So I'm going to write a note on here so that I can update my spreadsheet for in the future. But I know what they are. This one's a pretty distinctive filter anyway, so not hard to figure out. But yeah, that's something different, I guess. When I ordered these filters last week, it was last week, yeah. there was somebody that commented like, you must not have gotten any air filters because that's not very much money. Well, there's the pile of all air filters. I will admit, it seems like I am missing a couple. Like, I don't have a recirculating air filter for the 8R, the 9R, or the 8430, so I may have missed those. And I don't have a primary air filter for the 8RX. So I may have missed a few. But that's why we crossed these off on this list as we're putting them up there. And I need to double check and make sure I don't have them upstairs, which I would have that note on here already anyway, so we don't. But I can go in and order whatever I missed based on this and figure out why my spreadsheet didn't total it up right. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, we're going to go put those away before we dig into the oil filters and fuel filters. Oh, I did have a primary air for the 8RX. I just didn't cross it off there. Oh, it doesn't fit. Gosh dang it. I hate it when they don't fit under my shelf. Anyway, I try and organize these by tractor. So we do like oil and fuel filters on the top shelf, hydraulic filters on the next shelf, cab air, smaller air filters, and then large air filters on the bottom. And we go sprayer, combine, 9R, 8RX, 8R, 8430, other tractors, which is why those filters are all still there, because we haven't done the service work on those yet. I got sidetracked. I found some really cool stuff. You guys want to see some cool stuff? All right, so I'm up here. I'm putting filters back, right? And then I'm like, what's in these file cabinets? We've got these 4 giant file cabinets sitting here. I'm like, they're kind of in the way. So I started going through them, and holy crap, this stuff is awesome. It's awesome. Check it out. Look at that. You know what that is? That looks very familiar to me. Those are tissue test results. We pulled some of those last year, and the report looks identical. Same lab and everything. Just this is yellow paper versus printed on white paper because they emailed me the results instead of printed them for me. But holy cow. Like, we've been tissue testing since before tissue testing was cool. Look at the date on this. 8/2 of 1990. That's awesome. There's a couple of them here. And then look at this. We have plot results. This was a cornfield, 11/12 of 94 harvest date. We've got a couple of Great Lakes numbers, AgriPro, DeKalb. I think it goes to page 2, more AgriPro, Great Lakes. Those are beans. That's a different plot. But, like, look at these yields here. 145, 157, 162. That was the top of the plot right there. AgriPro number won the plot. AgriPro 453 at 162.67. AgriPro happens to be in the lineage of Golden Harvest. Like, the wheat that I sell is AgriPro, and they don't do corn and beans anymore, but it's the genetics lineage is still there. So that's kind of cool. And then I kept flipping. I'm like, what is this one? Whoa. Plant tissue analysis. 8/27/1980. That was from my dad's first year farming here. He pulled tissue analysis. That's crazy. Soybeans, corn, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. Those are all the fields right around the farm here. That's awesome. I'd have to really sit down and look at them to see if the numbers are relevant to today or how they did, but this is cool. So, what's that from? Nitrogen analysis report from 91. Like a PSNT, pre-sidedress nitrogen test to tell how much nitrogen you need to put on. Man, Dad was progressive. He was way ahead of the times on this stuff. Plant tissue analysis, another one from June of 1980. That is some cool stuff. Someday we need to go through here. Oh, there's the corn planting records. Is there a date? Come on, there's got to be a date. I don't see a date. All the different varieties. Full season versus early, mid-season, mid to full season, mid-season. 426.94. Planted 2 bags, 15 bags. Push yield potential. Chisel early. 8-1. Oh, yeah, that's a good farm. Pioneer, full season, 35.73. I assume those are beans. This is cool. This is really cool. That's basically what all of these drawers are. Some of these are from, you know, late 2000s. There's some in here from early 90s. Like this is all, these are grain receipts. These are financial records and stuff. Like this is all of the 1996 corn sales or grain sales. $3.36 a bushel. Sold 1,156.43. Like, oh, wow. This stuff is cool. Anyway, we're putting filters away. Probably what's in all of those boxes as well. Oh, look at this one. Somebody already labeled it for me. S780 in reservoir hydraulic. I don't know what this part number here is for, but I'm guessing somebody had this on a shelf, did the same thing, and they just returned it. So I'll probably just leave that one. Mark it off my list. S780 hydraulic return is what I called that, right? 964. 964. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, we got our boxes mostly empty here. I have, let's see, I for some reason missed the secondary engine air filter for the combine, the recirc filters for the 8R and the 9R, which are the same, and the recirc filter for the 8430. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to go look at my spreadsheet and see, because on page 2 of the spreadsheet, it's supposed to total all of those, and apparently either I missed it or it didn't. Either way, no big deal. That's only 4 filters out of this whole list. That's not too bad. We've got a couple of numbers to go and update, and yeah, we're good to go. So I got to get these field cultivator sweeps out of here, get that planter closing wheel bracket out of there. John Deere wants their pallets back, those the wood parts of the pallets. They don't need the cardboard back. So at some point we got to get those back up to the dealer, but I'm not in a big hurry. Probably could just put them in the part shed and they'll come and get them. So anyway, that is done. We'll get these boxes collapsed down and I don't have to walk around them anymore. I was taking these back row units apart here. Got the meters off, the gauge wheels, got the conceals down. I need to take the knives off of those yet, but one thing caught my eye. These gauge wheels here, both of them on this outside row here. That one, the rubber has started to come out a little bit. I don't know if we can loosen up. Those are not bolts. Nope, so yeah, to figure something out with that. And then this one, where's the spot? Right there. That's got a big bend in it. I don't know if that's real visible now that I took it off, but it was super obvious before. Yeah. There's a big bend in this outer ring here. So now the outer ring does come apart from this inner ring, so maybe we can just replace the outside part. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's not gonna work. That's no good. It was actually rubbing on the conceal knife just a little bit on this edge, so yeah, catch that problem. I would say that knife there is pretty well shot. This one here is wore out, and that one's way worse. So yeah, got our monies out of that one. Assuming it wasn't plugged up and not working half the year, which it may have been because some of these were. I picked up all those conceal knives that we've gotten off from the center and the other wing. We haven't got to do this side yet, but we're just sorting through them here. This pile is ones that are totally shot. Everything from this to, you know, some of these where it's just wearing the tip, but we've worn into where that hole is, and they all have some kind of a angle to them, or like that one missing a chunk. Plus, we're wearing into the side here. These ones over here at least have a square tail. Some of them maybe wore out. Meaning we're getting real close on the edge here, but they aren't wearing into that hole. So some of these, this one is still good. This one looks pretty good. This one is getting sort of thin, but would still be usable. There was some of these that I thought were a little worse. That one looks plugged, but not that bad. This one we're wearing into the side of it here, so that one's probably shot. But we're going to keep some of these around whether we put them on the planter or not right now. That's wearing into the side. Simply for the fact that these things are expensive. Like, these cost more to replace than the disc openers. And there's the same number of them on the planter. So, you know, if we can run some of these for another year we're going to do it, but we're going to replace them if they need to be replaced. It is about 4:45 here, so I'm getting ready to go home, but I think I'm going to grab the power washer gun real quick, and we're going to rinse these down, try and get, this mud out of there, and then it'll dry off overnight, and we'll be ready to go keep working on these tomorrow. It's amazing that we cleaned this last summer, and it's still dirty. Still getting dirt off of it. It's all right, better than it was. We'll let her dry tonight. Finish working on it. No, we won't finish working on it tomorrow. We will work on it some more tomorrow. Thanks for watching today. Better one. We got a lot done today. I feel like that was a better video. You guys let me know. So anyway, thanks for watching this one. Remind me in the morning that we need to plug in the truck, because somebody's coming to look at the Columbia tomorrow at like 10 or 10:30 or something. So I also have somebody coming in the morning to pick up a check from me. Oh, I got plumbers coming tomorrow to do some stuff at my house in the morning. So we got a lot of other stuff going on. Probably not gonna be a real productive day in the shop, but we'll do our best. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. New baking video out tomorrow as well. Mom's doing one solo tomorrow. Chocolate chip muffins. Go check it out. Go look for it. See you guys.